What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Too Fast Garage. My name is Richie. This week I'm going to be showing you my old car and cars. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures and videos of my old cars, but my main car I want to show you is my Mustang. The reason why I want to show you my Mustang is because it's the first car that I bought with my own money and the first car that I built and actually put my hands on. Cars I had before that was a Camaro, which you'll see right now. After that, I've had a Maserati, and then was my Mustang. My Camaro was my first car. It was originally my dad's car. We didn't really build that. I didn't build it. He didn't build it. What happened was we made mechanics and other people build it. It came out sick. Like, we put a ZL1 front bumper. We put aftermarket arrow kits everywhere. We put carbon fiber hoods. But the engine was mostly stock. We had a cool exhaust. It was a cool build, but it wasn't a build like I wanted. It was an automatic. So I didn't really feel the connection with it. After the Camaro, my dad found a sick Maserati, which was his. The Maserati was already on airlift performance on 21s or 20-inch Rohanas. Had a sick carbon fiber arrow kit. The Maserati was insane, especially back before, like, devalued, before it was, you know, not a cheap car. The Maserati was an insane car for me to go around, go to meets, especially at my age. Even though I did get my balls busted at 17 years old driving a fucking $60,000 car that was on airlift performance. After that, I wanted to build my own car. I started going to mechanic school. I wanted to put my hands on the car, wanted to practice, wanted to have a car that was my own. So the car I wanted was a 2013 Mustang GT in manual. Because of James was my best friend. I seen his Mustang and I was like, I love yours, but I love the 2013 a little bit more. Even though he has a better interior, I love the 2013 outside, the mean look. So what happened was I told my father, I said, I want to pay for it on my own. I want this car, low miles, great condition. He runs car dealerships and he actually got a trade-in right before Christmas. It was a 2013, I think it had like 18,000 miles and it was fairly cheap. He surprised me with it on Christmas. If I could find the clip, I'll put it right here. If not, it is deep in the album somewhere. But he surprised it with me on Christmas. Now everyone thinks because he surprised it with me on Christmas that he paid for it. No, he surprised me with the car payment. What he did surprise me was that he actually found the car. And it was my first manual. I always drove other people's manuals. I was infatuated with driving manual. Now for me to get up every day and go outside and drive a manual, that was astonishing for me. So I got the car. What my dad wanted to do, it was nice, but it was an up-and-coming wrap shop. They didn't really know. They knew how to wrap, but not really yet. They're amazing now, don't get me wrong, but they didn't know how to wrap at the time. So what happened was it was like half wrapped, half stuff was broke. I didn't really like the color he picked. It looked like a skin color to me. And he started doing like gold accents. I didn't like what he was doing. And he put my Maserati wheels onto the Mustang, which just didn't work. So what I did was I took everything off. I kept the wrap on, but I took off the gold accents. There was brown sparkly accents, the Rohana rims, the stripes, and pretty much made it my own car. Now, I didn't want to do what I did with the Camaro, which was all looks. So what I did was literally right after Christmas, I think it was that week after, I met a guy named Brandon who works at Lund Tuning. I met him over at my school building cars. He was a tuner. He knew everything. He was just going there for his certifications. So he's actually James's tuner right now too. I told him what I want to do. I didn't want to do another Boss 302 like everybody. No offense to Joe, because I would do it on my next Mustang, but I want to do a Cobra Jet setup. Now, if you don't know what a Cobra Jet is, it is from Ford. They make a Cobra Jet Mustang, which is like a built Mustang that has over 1,000 horsepower. It's like the fastest production Mustang that they've made. It's called a Cobra Jet. So it's a bigger manifold, bigger throttle body. Like mine was a dual. It was a twin 67, 62 mil. I don't remember, but the throttle body was like this big. And I wanted to do that because on an NA car you could get a lot more horsepower than a Boss 302. Like on NA, I think like on the dyno I was around almost 500 wheel horsepower, which you can't get with a Boss 302. You'll maybe get 430, but it's a lot more expensive. But you know, I found it on Facebook, used parts, and I did it. It was a manifold, the throttle body, the PMAS Cobra Jet intake, and with Brandon's tune, my car was pushing almost 500 wheel horsepower just on those three parts and his tune. And I had to get the N gauge. When I did that, I wanted to make sure that I liked how the car looked. The car came with a GT500 hood, so I didn't want to take that off. I think there was the RTR hood, but I got a new hood. The hood, the GT500 spoiler, the RTR deck lid. I wanted to put on lowering springs just a little bit so there wasn't no wheel gap, and I had my stock rims, which I actually did like on the car. When I got that all together and I got the Cobra Jet set up, it was like my dream car. Then after that, I got into the union where I worked for the city, and I couldn't get 2 cars. So that's why I sold it, and that was like the worst mistake. Now when I look at my friend Joe's car and I see his, I wish I had mine, but it is what it is. I don't like to dwell on the past. I wanted to tell you guys, I've been getting a lot of questions. Where's my car? Why do I never interview my car? What are my parts? I've had a lot of cars for my age. I'm only 23. It started with a Camaro, then the Maserati, then the Mustang, then I got a Cadillac to go to work in. Then after the Cadillac, I got a WRX. And then after the Subaru, I've gotten an Audi S5, which was by far one of my favorite stock cars. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If I could find some content with it, I was shocked by the cars I was beating. Like, I beat a full bolt-on STI on the highway. I just walked him. I got to find that video. But I was so shocked on the output of that Audi, especially around corners and driving with the handle. Then the pandemic hit, and everything skyrocketed on used cars. So I was like, you know what? I want to make some money on my Audi. I sold it, and there we go, another mistake. I'm stuck with no car now. So I'm going to wait. Now that the car scene is over, I'm going to wait a little bit, wait after the winter, and during March is when I'm going to start looking for another car. I don't want to get a car now and then it sit there all winter. I'd rather wait for the prices to lower down, because right now they're at the top of its peak. I'd rather it lower down, the winter to pass, and then me get a car to build and show you guys and give content with. So yeah, I wanted to tell you guys that I was getting a lot of questions, but I want to thank you guys for showing love so far. I have a couple sick interviews coming up. Like I said, I would have had one right now to show you guys, but I did hurt my foot and I couldn't walk. I didn't want to walk on it, but I'm feeling better now, and I want to update you guys and show you guys my past with my cars and the car scene that I was living before I started this YouTube channel. So thank you guys. I'm gonna hopefully see you next Thursday. I have some sick content coming up. I hope you enjoyed your weekend, and I'll see you soon.